Go. Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. We're getting ready for another NWA Territory show this coming weekend, and we're on the road really to World League Wrestling 26. But before we get there, we got to get through Destiny, and that is this coming Saturday. And I'm delighted to say, World League Wrestling, join us. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you, my friend?
We are okay. We kind of got the same thing going on. You've got show week this week. We've got show week in a few weeks' time for our big joint show over here in the UK. I want to talk about that, being a
Yes.
promoter and doing some promoting. Like show week, is it just as stressful as and exciting over in the States as it is over here in the UK?
I think it's that type of feeling is going to be shared no matter where you're at in the globe, where in the whether it be whatever country, whether it be across different time zones, there's no escaping it. So just having that stress of everybody wanting it, whether it be your promotion or another promotion, you wanting it to do well. Obviously, the matches you want them to go very well and to be, each match is just a piece of the puzzle that makes up the company. And with that being said, as you said, WLW 26, so 26 years of being in business, uh, I tend to treat each event that we do as if it's day one because it keeps me on my toes and it keeps the talent on their toes. And yeah, long and short, it's always stressful, but it's never a bad stress. It's always good. It's just how we handle it, whether it determines good or bad.
Yeah, exactly that. I over here in the UK, the biggest issue that I have is a lot of wrestlers don't drive. It infuriates me.
Yeah, that is an issue. They got to get from A to B.
Exactly that, and it's not as big as obviously as the states trying to get to places, but
Oh, sure.
it's frustrating.
It's still, it's could be problematic. That's for sure.
Oh yeah, we've had it on days where they've had train strikes and stuff like that, and got to go and pick them up and whatnot. So it's yeah, annoying, but it's just, but also as you say, happy stress in a lot of ways once the show days here and everything's getting there. But of course, with that now, you've got the added influence of being the NWA territory. And what we're seeing now, especially on NWA on Roku, what's been airing at the minute, there has been a lot more talent that we've seen from the territories now starting to make their way up. If you look at Exodus Pro, that Pretty Boy Smooth, Pastor CeeLo, people like that have already gone up there, Hunter Drake and a couple of others. There's a couple of names that I wanted. Well, there's definitely one name, and I know she's got a match coming up this weekend, and we'll get onto that in a minute. Skylar Sparks, she's been on this show as well. She, for me, when I've looked through it, and
Absolutely.
maybe a couple of others we'll get into in a minute. For me, that they're the ones that like we need to look out for in the next sort of 12 to 18 months that could be seen soon on the NWA Power side as well as obviously at WLW.
I agree. The ones I can't safely say and speak up for other territory owners and promoters. But for World League Wrestling, given who created it, there's
Mm.
a standard to not only being able to wrestle on each event, but to also keep wrestling on each event and to have that motivation, that drive that makes you better and to make your opponent better and also the promotion at the end of the day. You have to have that amongst many other qualities. And Skylar is one of those who has that quality, whether you like it or whether you don't. That's, I guess, irrelevant. However, she goes out there and she puts 100% of her effort in, and that shows. It shows that the progression that she's made from August of I want to say last year,
Mhm.
or maybe it was the year before. Uh, she's her in ring time as a professional wrestler has not been the total length of her in ring career, period, because
Mm.
she started out actually as a referee, and then she came to us and said, "Hey, look, I'm ready to wrestle. This is, something that I want to do. If I fail, I fail, but I don't think I'm going to fail. Worked extremely hard, and she continues to work extremely hard for it. And again, it shows from one event to the next the progression of her abilities. Uh, yeah, that she has a work ethic of a horse, and that she needs to keep it like that, because I agree. Sooner than later, you'll end up seeing her at some point in time, hopefully sooner than later, um, on bigger platforms, bigger TV programs. NWA Power is the prime example.
Yeah, exactly that. And we've seen a lot of them this year as well have made that jump, and they don't look out of place. And I just see Skylar as a perfect fit. I mean, I obviously don't want
Mhm.
WOW to lose full time, but when you go up to NWA, you've seen that women's division, and we obviously you bring in someone from NWA and Crossfire for Skylar this coming weekend, and we said we'll get to that in a minute. But she just doesn't look. She just seems as someone that just wouldn't look out of place on that roster right now. If she got that call tomorrow from Billy to say, "Hey, we need you at the power station," she'd fit in like a glove.
Absolutely. She's, again, her work ethic speaks volumes, and her ability to and her drive to go out there and not only in front of the quote unquote camera, but also behind the scenes. What needs to get done, she'll do it, and without even batting an eye. You know what I mean? That again is another quality that I like to see our wrestlers and our talent possess. So I would agree. She would fit in like a glove, and I believe it's not a matter of if, but a matter of when that opportunity comes up. She's not only going to take that, but she's going to smash it out of the park.
Yeah, definitely so. But of course, we wouldn't be able to talk WOW without obviously the legend that is Harley Race and everything that he's done and accomplished in wrestling. Look,
Correct.
he was obviously well respected by his peers. He was feared by them as well, obviously going back for everything that he's done in his time and
Right.
everyone that he's trained. But with Harley also, it's always about that giving back to the business as well. And WOW is a prime example of him giving back and creating the talents that sometimes we now see on these bigger platforms.
Um, that's I mean, again, you pretty much hit it right on the head. Um, his ability to, I guess, word things in a way
Mm.
that um, up and comers or even experienced all levels, to where everybody can understand, because he's been there, he was there, he went there, he did that. He was very well respected. Well, he still is very well
Yes.
respected, and I'm not saying anything about you, but by any stretch. But to have, the weight of the name, the Harley Race Wrestling Academy, on your back or on your jersey, or however you want to try and look at it, that carries significant volume.
Mm.
And that's why things are here for World League the way that they are. Meaning, just because you train a little bit and show up to training and help out doesn't automatically give you a guaranteed shot to wrestle at World League Wrestling. You have to earn that, and it's not just what you do at training. Is a whole lot of different things, and that was instilled by him. It was he would have done the same thing had he been here today versus almost 26 years ago. So that expectation that he created, that walked alongside of him, so to speak, that's still here, and it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon.
No, definitely not. But you're right, though. You always say about the name in wrestling. You look at Race, Orton, Flair, people like that. And obviously, when you hear a name like that, people synonymize wrestling with those names. So coming to the promotion, what Harley Race built, basically going forward, that adds that element of pressure. But it also, does it make the people respect it or having to respect it more because of that name value? You've muted yourself. Sorry, I think that maybe you've muted the button on there.
Is that better? I think.
Yeah, I think
Sorry,
that's
that was
it.
my.
That's
I
it.
got dogs and one's climbing all over me right now. Um, yeah. So yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that question one more time?
Yeah,
I got
sorry. Yeah,
distracted.
absolutely. So, you know,
Sorry.
the name Race, Orton, Flair, even the quote unquote McMahon, regardless of what happens when you look at wrestling, these are names that everyone meets. But when you come to the house that Harley Race built, WLW, and you can argue he built NWA and WCW, by the way, as well as many others, there is that added prestige
I
as
agree.
well that comes with it. But does the talent, is it more pressure for the talent with that, or do they have to come and be instilled with a certain way of working because of that name prestige value behind it?
I think it's a mixture of both.
Mm.
Um, the obviously there's never ever going to be a second coming of Harley Race, another Harley Race,
Mm.
and I mean this old with him,
Mm.
which is a shame because he that type of person, that type of man, far be it for me to say anything, is needed in the world today. Not even limited to professional wrestling, but just in the world. Shut up, or I'm going to kick your teeth down your throat if you need it to happen. That, but his actions spoke louder than his words.
Mm.
But whenever he spoke, obviously the people listened because that opportunity was few and far between. As far as the actions speak louder than words, he rarely spoke. Not rarely, but he didn't have to speak as much because people knew, and they didn't test him, and they didn't, want to, especially find out the hard way. That said, the pressure that comes along with, I guess, being a Harley Race guy or a Harley Race girl, it should be accompanied with pressure
Mm.
because uh, their reputation speaks for itself. And again, nobody's ever going to be another Harley Race. That's not going to happen. That said, if you gained his stamp of approval, then you gained something. And with that being said, you're expected to carry that forward, and whether it's verbal or whether again it's actions, there's always something to learn. I've been doing this for 22 years now, 22 and a half, whatever it may be, and I still learn stuff every single day.
Yeah.
If it's not just in the ring, it's out of the ring, and how to teach people and how to get things across in a certain way to where everybody learns as best of their ability, and knowing that everybody learns a different way is again is something that I learned from him, and also being put in the position because he put me in that position. I didn't know it at the time, but it's something that I wouldn't take back if I was given umpteens of millions of dollars in the world. That said, again, yeah, I really believe that it's a mixture of both, and there is pressure as there should be, because to gain his stamp of approval, you can't find on just any street corner across the world. It means something, and that expectation comes right alongside with it.
Yeah, absolutely. That I totally agree with that. And listen, they're going to have to deliver this coming Saturday as well. That's for sure, because he'll be watching, and he's probably watching all the shows, and he's probably critiquing it somewhere along the line as well. I can imagine him still doing that up in the sky there, critiquing the show that you put on this coming. Well, every show that WLW puts on.
No, every event, yeah, yeah. It's the expectations don't fluctuate from one event to another. They if anything, they grow and they don't continue to go down. That's for sure.
No, definitely not. But let's get on to this Saturday because the card is pretty stacked, and there is also there is going to be some involvement from another NWA territory, the Texas side of things, which we'll get
Absolutely.
into. And I want to get into it because your tag champions are kind of potentially in single matches. We'll get to one of them later because it's more of a challenge that's been laid down at the minute. But NWA Texas champion Izzy James, someone else that's been on this show as well, will go against Blade Lennox in a Texas championship match. So you could technically have an NWA Texas champion on your programming going forward. Is that kind of a bit of bragging rights against it if you hold one of their championships? We're seeing it a lot now with sort of TNA and NXT. They're kind of having each other's championships. Is that going to be territory bragging rights?
Well, I mean, there is no bragging rights because World League Wrestling's at the top, and again, whether you like it or whether you don't, that's almost irrelevant because what going backwards for just a half a step, the expectation of being Harley Race's company um, holds us to a standard that nobody could touch, nobody could replicate, nobody could duplicate. Um, and I like to see them try because they will fail. That said, the territories, each one offers something different. In my eyes, the territories should not all be the same because then it's the same thing in 7 or 8 different places, whatever the number is. World League Wrestling brings something unique, obviously, as does Exodus, as does Dog Pound Championship, as does the other territory, NWA Texas umbrella as a whole, New Mexico, Crossfire, Joe Kazana, everybody brings a different flavor. And that's the way that it should be. Every territory that's in a different location, I don't want to say the style of wrestling, but the fans, I guess, like something different. And so in St. Louis, here for World League Wrestling, the fans have always loved going, 4 guys, whatever the case may be, going in there and just putting on a wrestling match. And that is exactly what we do with 2025 influence. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Wrestling has progressed, and which is great. And to see the industry as a whole where it's at right now is fantastic. And World League Wrestling, Exodus Pro, Crossfire, Joe Kazana Promotions, the NWA Texas, New Mexico, and everybody, it's time for us to step up. And I say that also to include the NWA roster itself. There's prime opportunities waiting. And I can safely say for all of us here at World League, we ain't waiting because we take that ball and we go with it.
Yeah, definitely. Over here in the UK, the independent scene is crazy right now. Is it, crazily good with
Sure.
talent? I mean, you've seen, I mean, people will see lots of Will Ospreay now going over to AEW and doing what he's doing. And there's so much more. Zack Sabre Jr. is killing it over in Japan, in New Japan and stuff like that. Over in America now, is the scene as strong as it's ever been now? Or is there more still to come with it, do you think?
It is growing. I will say that. I don't think it's at its peak. Um, it would be hard to tell, at least in the moment when the peak is.
Yeah.
That said, I still think it is growing. Is it going well? Absolutely, and that's professional wrestling as an entirety.
Yeah.
But is it done growing? I don't think so.
No, no, definitely not. We'll see. Definitely, we'll see going forward. But another match on the show that I'm actually personally looking forward to because I've seen Soda Pop Hendricks before, and I know how good he is. But he's got an interesting one this week, this coming Saturday, because he's in junior heavyweight action with your champion Raheem De La Suede. That one could be, and I say the word show stealer because I'm looking at the other matches I haven't gone through yet, and there's one in particular, well, there's 2 in particular, the other 2 others that I want to get to, but that one is going to be exciting for the fans in attendance that can see this match live.
Soda Pop Hendricks, Pop Noir. From what I don't know officially what his name is. What I do know officially that being the go-to guy for Rodney Mack and Jazz and Dog Pound Championship in NWA Texas, that was a mouthful. Having that responsibility, I can identify with. You being that guy, the guy
Yeah.
that holds the expectation level of the people that own it and run it. That is something that, again, you can't find on every street corner. His ability, I've seen a lot of them, and we're excited to have him here this coming Saturday, as well as Izzy James. Well, really everybody. I'm not going to limit it to just those two or whoever it is before somebody gets me into trouble. But that said, so just by the nature of everything, I can imagine he's only better now. He and Raheem De La Suede, I've known Suede now for 6.5 years, give or take.
Yeah.
And he is a character. And I'm largely meaning that to his favor. That being said, he goes out there, he has the passion for professional wrestling, but he also loves the ability to control the people's reactions.
Yeah.
And he has a very different way of doing that, which is fantastic. And I'm looking forward to seeing that match. You're 100% right. I think he could go out there and have the best match on the event. And who's going to argue with him? He's Raheem De La Suede. According to him, he's royalty.
Yeah, exactly that. But there is a match that's going to be, it's got very personal after Overdrive, and that would be the one that you've now said is a number one contender match for the WLW Championship at 26. And that's Camaro Jackson versus Moses the Deliverer. The shocking at the end of Overdrive the last show. That's now got personal, and it could well turn into a bit of a fight this coming Saturday.
It very well could, and it's going to be an extremely unique situation because we haven't had such a heated moment that we had. Moses prior to June of this year, so 3 months ago, he was on a losing streak. And Moses, again, I have Moses and Raheem De La Suede had started together, literally same class, same day, and I've had the opportunity learn to see those guys grow. Not only a man's stand, because I'm still young in my eyes, but my body's different. That said, Moses, now we're seeing a side of him that everybody in the building, whether it be fans or the staff and the talent, hasn't seen before. He's always been the type of guy that goes out there and he will try to put on the best event, or best match, rather, at any event that he possibly can. The show stealer, without calling himself that. He's a very humble guy. He's very driven, but now he's driven by success, and his lack of success from a few months prior to June until then has shaped him into put him into a position that again, fans may not like, but ultimately him versus Camaro Jackson is going to be a match that I think everybody should keep their eyes on, because the winner of this match will go on to face the NWA World League Heavyweight Champion, and that'd be Carson Drake from NWA Exodus, as well as just the NWA as a whole. He is the current World League Heavyweight Champion, right?
Yeah.
The winner of said match is going to go on and face Carson at WLW 26, the anniversary event taking place November the 8th of this year. And both guys have the same goal for entirely different reasons, mind you, but both guys share the same goal. So it's going to be very interesting to see who's going to get that win, because it's a matter of, whether you get the main event 26 or not,
Yeah, that's the added thing as well. Main event in that big anniversary show. It's that's the added bit to that. That's the added, is if you needed any more after the last show, there's your little bit more of an incentive, right, to go there and win that match.
Exactly.
That's going to make it
Correct.
better. But there is a match on this show, and I've kind of skated around it throughout the whole of this interview. But the one that I'm personally looking forward to the most is indeed Skylar Sparks defending that ladies' championship against NWA and Crossfire Wrestling's Kylie Page. Now, Skylar has been on a bit of a tear, as we know, over the last year or so, nearly a year that she's won that championship. But this is a match that, for me, we mentioned Skylar in sort of 12 to 18 months could be, on the NWA. I could see this match on a global scale in a couple of years' time. That's how good both of these ladies actually are.
We've had the opportunity to have Kylie, as well as her sister Kenzie, here at World League before, March of 2024. And they were good then. So again, if we're just going to allow nature to come into play here, presuming they do what they are supposed to do on their end, any talent that has, continues to train and get better, they're going to do just that. They're going to get better. So Kylie is in that same conversation, as well as Skylar. She's the World League Ladies Champion. She has been since the WLW 25, November of last year. So, and you're right, she's been on a tear, been giving everybody a bit of a headache here lately. And that said, she's always been able to go in there and deliver. She, just because you don't like how she gets to the end point doesn't mean she's lying, because if she said that she's going to walk out as the ladies champion, guess what? She did it. Again, being driven and being in the type of world where that pressure is there, as the opportunity comes, Skylar has taken that and ran with the ball.
Yeah.
The delivery of it hasn't really been the greatest, or she's done just that, and there's no argument to that. So seeing the success of Kylie Page and seeing also at the same time the success of Skylar Sparks here, again, this event is going to be, as a whole, is going to be one that you don't want to miss. And the matches that you've ran through, including this one for the World League Ladies Championship, they're at the top of that conversation.
Yeah. With Skylar, do you think we've seen a lot of the NWA, and we've mentioned it, Kylie, Kenzie, there's been others, Tiffany Nieves and a couple of other women there. Has she got a little bit under the radar and a bit unnoticed, maybe more than what she should have been? Should there be a bit more notice around Skylar Sparks than maybe what there is already?
Do you mean as far as Skylar? I'm sorry, it's kind of lagging.
Yeah, sorry. As far as Skylar Sparks is concerned, is she not being noticed as much as she should be?
If you ask her, yeah, the answer is always yes. Unless she's at the top of that, whatever division may be, or holding gold, or a combination of the two, the answer for her is always going to be yes. But there's this saying in wrestling, the cream always rises to the top, right? Yeah. And I try to instill in our both students and talent, Rome wasn't built in a day. Meaning, look, just because you start at point A over here doesn't mean you're going to get to point B here within a day or a month or a week or a year, whatever it may be. Things that take time, you have to give it just that. If you're going to be successful, it wasn't overnight. You have to give it time, and I'm of the belief that everything happens for a reason. You may not like it at that point in time, but everything does. That said, Skylar has been actively wrestling for a little over a year and a half, 2 years now, and in my honest opinion, I think the best is yet to come. She's been doing very, very well. But again, the best is yet to come. It's obviously, if she were to move up within the ranks of the NWA, right, not only the territories, but if she had received an opportunity to showcase her abilities and showcase her talents on the bigger platform that NWA offers, with that comes growth just by default, So that's why I say the best is yet to come with her, because I believe once she gets that opportunity, is going to lead to more growth and more opportunities for her to continue to succeed and move forward.
We'll see how it happens on Saturday. But the last one we need to get to, because it's a challenge at the minute that Astonishing Austin Metallo's laid out to probably the man who on this channel, if I've done a survey who's got the world's most punchable face, it would be the current champion of yours right now. He's actually champion in a lot of the territories, Carson Drake. The challenge is yet, as of right now, hasn't yet to be accepted, but Carson Drake, as much as he's got that punchable face, he's another one that when that bell goes, finds a way of winning matches.
Again, he has a punchable face, and at the top of that list of people who like to punch him would be me. In all sincerity, that Austin Mulatalo has been there to do any and everything that was asked of him for World League Wrestling. He is a prime for himself, but to see the bigger picture succeed. And Austin believes that. I have talked to him outside of the realm of professional wrestling, and he is just genuinely a person that what people don't understand is how what he does outside of training. And just because you may see him on a flyer here in the state of Missouri once every couple of weeks, he travels a lot. I mean, he got his newer car, well, it was new then, I want to say a couple of years ago, and I think he's crossed over the 100,000 mile mark now. So his dedication to learning this industry, everybody should try to live up to. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but about a little over 2 months ago, well, maybe right under 2 months ago now, right away, give or take, somebody actually legitimately drove through our parking, or not our parking lot, but our front yard of our arena.
I remember, yeah.
And still don't know to this day who. It was very disappointing to find out. I had to spend pretty much an entire 2 days up at our arena, pressure washing the side of a building when it's like 115 degrees outside. Yeah. I can't stand that, right? That's what I would think. What I was upset the most about is that I had to clean it up. Be that as it may, Austin, he was up there and he helped me out, and was just upset about the whole situation because I don't want to say he took it personally, but I think that's kind of approaching how he did, and then Carson obviously released that video that he had some loose insinuations in there saying that, he could have been the one behind it. And I still don't know. There's two other businesses. They're actually government businesses. One's an EMT station, and then across one side of the street, and then the other one is a police probation office, both of which have outside cameras, and of course no camera caught it, right? So I don't know if we'll ever know. We're working on getting cameras back at our arena as we given time, but here very, very soon. So hopefully that won't happen again. That being said, that really upset Austin, frustrated him, infuriated him, and to the point now, he has laid out this challenge to Carson Drake for this coming event Saturday night. And to my understanding, he doesn't even want a shot at the title because, well, I mean, and to be fair, the number one contendership match between Camaro and Moses, that's what that determines, is to see who wrestles that. So but Austin is right at this point in time is not interested in getting a shot at that title. He is interested in shutting the mouth of Carson Drake into him in that punchable face, as you have said.
Yeah, I'll give him an extra $50 if he manages to do that as well.
I'm sure he'll take
this coming Saturday. But look, it is this coming Saturday. So why don't you tell everybody if tickets are still available, where can they get it from? And obviously, is this going to be televised at any point? And if so, where can people see it?
Absolutely. So tickets are still available online at our website. It's www.harleyrace.com. That's the official website of Harley Race. Harley Race is World League Wrestling, and the Harley Race Wrestling Academy. the one and only. That said, you can purchase tickets on there. You could also, if tickets don't sell out between now and Saturday night, you could also show up at the door and purchase them then. That said, you never know. I think tickets could sell out between now and then. It's a possibility. So if you want to go, you better get yours now. That said, yes, also this event will be taped for our TV program, which is World League Wrestling Showdown. We are half across the nation. And we're going to get this event out on our YouTube channel at a given time. It just, there's a priority level of things, and we're trying our best to sort through it all. But it's just a small team, so hope just be patient with us. That's all I can ask. But yeah, absolutely. Yes to all your questions. Hopefully sooner than later on the TV program. And again, harleyrace.com for all information, tickets, Harley Race, World League Wrestling, the Academy, the whole nine.
Make sure you guys get there. If we could get there, we would get there. But obviously, we got a bit of a distance to get to it. But
well, if you're ever in the area, my friend, you're more than welcome to drop on by.
We will definitely be there at some point. Definitely, we want to get through the territories at some stage. That's a whole part.
Absolutely.
With the challenge, but with good luck Saturday. We're sure you absolutely get it, guys. If you're in the area, or you're in a commutable distance, or you just want to go and watch some great wrestling, go down to the Harley Race arena. Basically, is what it is for this
Correct.
show. And if you can't make it to this one, obviously there is 26 coming up as well, as you mentioned, in November. So we'll look forward to seeing.
Correct.
That.
Yeah.
But yeah,
correct.
Good luck on Saturday. Guys, this has been another NWA Territory Talk with WLW. We'll be back with some more Territorial Talk this week as Exodus Pro continues to invade our channel. But until then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye. We are done. Thank you, my man. Thank you very much for that. I will get that stuff edited.
Absolutely. Thank you.
I'll get that stuff edited when that dog jumped in at the start.